Yo, yo, my peoples, I'm Amo E, and welcome to the 8th episode of EasyCast. Today, we have an amazing man, an amazing TikToker, Instagram, amazing at photography, videography, and a gym beast, Luca Peterson. Welcome to EasyCast.
Thank you for having me, guys.
All good, all good. Let's get into it. I don't want to take too much of your time. So speak about how's your gym journey? You've mentioned you haven't had sugar for 2 years. Is that correct?
3.5.
3.5.
3.5.
Oh.
I haven't had for 3.5 years. I've not eaten sugar, and that means all pure sugars as well. I don't eat honey. I don't eat maple syrup either.
Really? Wow.
Even natural ones, I just don't eat them. Now I know that honey, has got some other benefits and it's healthy for you. That's great. I just personally don't eat it, but. Yeah, no sugar, no flour, no chemically processed foods, nothing with any artificial sweeteners or anything for 3.5 years.
Wow, I mean, you can see the benefits on yourself for sure,
How do you maintain something like that? Like, how do you have that dedication? What do you have a schedule and
is it discipline? Is it motivation? What drives you?
I think discipline and motivation for these things are really I think they're bad motivators. I think if you're geeing yourself up and like motivating yourself, like, come on, right, okay, I'm not going to eat any sugar or fat, I think you're just going to crash eventually. That was my experience. I used to try diets and things like that for like a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, but because I knew it was a diet, I knew that I was about to crash, and I knew that at the end of the 4 weeks I'd be like, press the effort button and just binge and just go crazy on this stuff. My change in attitude towards it now is that it is just a lifestyle change. I made the conscious decision that is no longer something that I do. Same with drinking alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. It's a conscious decision. It's just something I no longer do. And once you make that conscious decision, I think it's just cemented in me. It's just not a behavior that I partake in. So when I see those foods, or when I see something that has sugar in it or something like that, or I'm checking a label, it's just simply like, oh, it has sugar in. I don't eat sugar. That's me.
Yes. Wow. It's like, it's not even like a second thought. It's just so like hardwired. You don't even have to even think about it at that point, right?
Yeah. No, it's not even a second thought, and it's not even a struggle either. I think there was maybe a 1 week, maybe 2 week period of where I had some like cravings and things like that, and I was like, ooh, I could go and I could eat sugar or whatever like that. But after that, really, the body loses craving to it. Then it's just a mental game of making the decision around it.
Wow. I mean, that's crazy. That's a lot of dedication. That's pretty sick. I mean, definitely shows. Do you go gym five times a week? 6?
So when I'm on it, when I'm really consistent, I would say 5. I have periods of where I'm not that consistent at the gym. Fortunately, very luckily, genetically, I hold muscle very easy. It's just something that I was blessed with by my dad, my granddad, whatever it is, my genes just give me that. So that's fine. But yeah, if I'd say between 3 and 5 a week, I would go to the gym. I'll always do some form of activity, whether it's a lot of walking in the day or whether I'm doing something, whether it's body weight or gym, then
anything's important, like even 3 times a week, it's like it's consistent, as long as, doing half the week.
Most important thing, the most important thing is the consistency over a long period of time. I think a mistake a lot of people make with the gym is they go absolute hell for leather in the first 2 weeks when they make the decision, like January will come around and it's like, right, that's it, I'm going to get shredded, I'm going to get really big. And it's just 2 weeks of absolute mayhem, chest to upper body in the morning and then lower body in the evening, 7 days a week. And then you're knackered. You're knackered by day 10 and you're like, I'll sack this, I'm done.
Yeah, they give up, they're full burnt out.
Yeah.
So do you
and often.
Oh, sorry. So continue.
No, I was just going to say little and often is I always find a lot better when starting in the gym. I think do what's manageable, start maybe 3 times a week and then move up 100%. From there.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I've been going kind of 3 times a week, just, university assignments and that. But do you cook your own meals and assign that for the week, or how does that work?
Like meal prep?
Most most of the time I cook. I always have breakfast at home. Lunch, I normally cook. I enjoy cooking quite a lot. And then I just know everything that's in it as well. And I can, there's one thing about my diet is I eat a ton of veg, like a ridiculous amount of vegetables. So if I was to order that out, it would be ridiculous. Like I'd be getting like 10 sides of just veg, and the waiter would look at me like I was just some freak. So a lot of the time I do eat at home, but then again, right now with like a lot of traveling, a lot of busy schedules, a lot of kind of like meetings and things like that, I do eat out a lot as well. And I'm just not wary, but I'm just, smart with what I order. I generally just go for certain things like lean meats, veg, rice, all those kind of things. And
Very
it's like,
traditional
I love
stuff.
it. Yeah. I mean, I eat out. I do eat out a lot, but I've never had an issue.
No, that's good. That's good. I mean, with alcohol, like what kind of pushed you towards that change, and like how have you maintained that for 3 years straight?
So alcohol for me stopped being fun. It stopped being like a fun thing to do. I mean, I don't know if it's the same in Australia. I feel like it is the same in Australia.
Yeah, they're quite heavy on alcohol.
We're very related in that aspect, but I started like going out, maybe drinking and maybe partying at a very young age. I mean, it was like 13.
Yeah, that's Australia for sure.
Yeah, same. Us Brits, Australians, we love that kind of thing. It's just, we're nuts. And so I had like, I started at a young age, and I flogged that horse, man. I sent it, and it stopped being fun. It really stopped being fun. And I was like, I got to like my early 20s. I got to like 20 something. Like I was 21, I think. And I was like, you know what? This is actually not fun anymore. Like this is actually just really like, it's holding me back. It's holding me back from doing things I want to do. It's holding me back from being the person that I want to be. I keep making like silly, stupid mistakes when I'm drunk or when I'm drinking and things like that. And I'm just not having fun anymore. And so again, it was just one of those decisions. I was like, I got to stop this. It's not fun anymore. I think I think alcohol is a thing that's like really widely glorified. And it's almost like when you say you don't drink, it's like, what? Why?
Yeah. You get alienated. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so I found that, and again, it was like the food stuff. In the first couple of weeks, I was thinking like, Jesus, like, how am I like going to go out and have fun with friends? How am I going to go to bar? How am I going to socialize and things like that? And I actually weirdly now, I just find that way easier. I feel like, I do not need alcohol in my system to be able to go and talk to people, to socialize, to go to something to calm my nerves or whatever it is, or give me confidence. I just don't need it. I really don't. And so therefore I just see no point in having it in my life. It's only detrimental. So I have a lot more fun without it.
It's like more of a flex that you don't need it to have fun, A lot of people say that like once they start quitting it, they'd be like, I never really needed it. It was just kind of brought like their anxiety down, but it kind of has like so many, bad side effects to it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's got, endless list of bad side effects. And like once you realize you really don't need it, it's like, oh, like, I mean, Jesus, I go out all the time. Like we I don't, you see my videos, I joke about it all the time. But like me and my friends who I live with, or in London, like there's huge party scenes, and I go to them all the time. I go to a lot of events where it's, a big party thing. There's DJs and everything, and people are drinking a lot. And I've never felt the need, I need to drink to kind of fit in here. I've never, ever felt that.
That's great.
It's just not a thing anymore for me.
That's great.
And
Go on.
I was going to say, like, definitely because of that, you're able to take yourself to that next step and achieve those next things that you would see that alcohol was limiting yourself from. Yeah.
Oh, totally. It used to wipe me out, man. I mean, God, when you get a hangover or whatever like that, it's because it's not just the next day that a hangover eliminates. It's probably like you're really recovering the day after that or another day after that. It wipes out just 3 days of like proper thinking and mentality strength and things. I've got a lot of things that I am wanting to go after and try and achieve. And so that means that in the day, I've got a lot of tasks that I want to get through. If I'm not in the best state that possible, then I just can't get through that. I can't think straight. And, I don't feel good. If you don't feel well, then you can't show up. You can't really do the things that you want to do.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, what's your sleep schedule like then?
So this is the thing that I'm really trying to nail on and be really hyper focused on lately. I'm trying to hit the 9-hour mark of sleep.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm trying to hit 9 hours. I'm averaging about 8 at the moment, and then there are some exceptions when I have like a late event or travel and jet lag and things like that. But I'm trying to hit the 9-hour mark, all around there, 8.5 to 9 hours, just because I went through a consecutive of like 4 or 5 days where I got 9 hours sleep. It's the best I've ever felt in my life. I felt like I was running on jet fuel, mate. I was just like out of this
Hyperactive.
world productive and just like overly like energized and joyful and everything like that. So I'm trying to consistently get to that. That means like, what time do I get to bed and things? If I'm in my routine, like a daily routine, probably we're looking at like 10:30, 10-ish, and then I'm up at 7. I love
still
getting
good.
up early in the morning.
That's really good.
So early bird.
Yeah, it changes though. Like, I'm not perfect with that. Nowhere near. I recommend to anyone listening, if you watch the podcast on Joe Rogan with Matthew Walker, that'll scare the life out of you into sleeping more.
Is that the one about sleep where he was talking
Yeah,
about like, you need only that much?
neuroscientist.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, for me,
God,
it's like it depends on the day. I don't need if I sleep at a good time, I don't need more than 7 hours. Like sometimes 6 hours. But that's just like, because everyone's different. So obviously, maybe I use less energy in the day, or it's just my body. I don't need that much sleep if I sleep at the right time. But like, obviously, you're different. You need your 9 hours to get that like really good energy boost.
Yeah, I mean, I have got a great energy, 7 to 8 hours regardless. But I find like when I get into that rhythm of my body clock is so on point with it, that I will fall asleep at the same time. And it's weird, man. I was training my body to wake up at the exact same time every single day. And to the minute, I did it with no alarms. Like, it's just the weirdest thing ever. I was waking up at 6:49, 6:50 a.m. every day, no alarm. And I was like, this is crazy. This is so weird how the body just knows, like it knows.
It's quite amazing, yeah.
I'm trying to switch up my sleep schedule from like to get up at 6:30 and sleeping earlier, but because I'm so used to breaking up my sleep every night for the past like 3 nights, I've just been getting up at 4 a.m. and I just can't go back to sleep. So yeah, definitely it'll take some time, but I have to sleep earlier. That's the main problem.
I think that is the driving factor there.
Yeah.
So you want to get into his career, like how he switched from. Was it? You said you did. Is it like finance? Your old job was somewhere in finance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I used to work in finance, which I despised. In school when I was in high school, I thought, it's actually really funny. It's such a cliche thing, but I thought, I'll just move to London. I'll make a load of money in finance, and that'll be great. I'll be so happy. I'll rock a suit and walk around, and we'll have like Ferraris and stuff like that. It'll be like the Wolf of Wall Street. Like,
just in London.
Yeah, I'll just turn up. I'll just turn up and get given a monster salary. But no, the reality was that I was given an admin job working in a basement office in Belgravia. I didn't see daylight in winter because you'd get there, the sun hadn't risen yet, and then you'd leave and the sun had set. So like you just wouldn't see any daylight, and it was just it was hideous, man. It was a horrible job, and yeah, so that's where I started my career.
Definitely taught, like you definitely learn a lot from it, where you didn't want to be, like compared to where you are now. You know what I mean? So now you're doing photography.
No, I was like, this is awful.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, so I do like content creation for like I do a lot of things. Like photography was my I think, which started in lockdown. So basically, what happened was when lockdown happened, I moved back up to the north of England, everything like that, and I was like kind of then given with the choice of like, what do I want to actually do? Because I'm not enjoying this job whatsoever. I just started making videos on TikTok. I started making vlogs. I started making a few tutorials, a few random videos, and then they just started to do really, really well, and it kind of grew. But I wasn't like making any money from it or anything like that. I was. That's another story. My first bit of money that I made from social media. But I was just like growing on social media, and it was kind of like just a thing that I was doing, and I was like, actually, this could be something, because I I loved watching YouTubers. I thought YouTubers, God, they've got such a cool life, like a cool job, cool career.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I could do something like this. I just focused on it, and all through lockdown, just kept on growing it and growing it. And then I was able to go full time with it. When I moved back down to London, then I could go full time with it because I was then starting to make more money from it and be able to support myself on it.
100%. What was the story about first time making money on Instagram? Well, I mean, social media.
Yeah, on TikTok. So the first bit of money I made on TikTok, a brand approached me and they said, would you make a video using our photography app and just, making a video about it? And and this was on my TikTok, which at the time I think I maybe had like 60,000 followers, something like that. And I was like, yes, of course. And they were like, we're going to pay you. And the budget is $200. And so I was like, oh my God, $200 for a video? I was like, are you kidding me? This is amazing. I'm getting paid to make a video. Like, this is so good. And I was thinking, like, if I do like 4 or 5 of these a month, then I'm going to, like, this is cool. I can live on this. This is fine.
Yeah.
I was still at home at this point. So, I didn't have many bills or anything like that. And I did the video for them for $200. So they paid me $200 to do this video, and that video got 36 million views. And I was just
way.
like,
36 million
Like,
for $200 bucks.
Like, I got
Wow.
36 million. So that's the best bit of marketing they've done. Like, gosh, that was crazy. Mega viral. I think at one point Lewis Capaldi even went on the thing and he liked the video and stuff like that. I got a notification for. I was like, this is just like, they've paid $200 and they've just got 36 million views.
Are they still in contact with you? Like, have you done brand deals with them still after that?
No, I haven't worked with them since the first one. I don't deal with that department now. Fortunately, I've got a manager and management and everything like that, and they are fantastic, 100%. And they deal with all of those things to do with that. So but that was funny.
I mean, getting into like careers and stuff. How did you? I don't understand fully exactly like how does photography and videography tie in with traveling, and how you able to make an income from that?
So how it works, I mean, my content at the moment is very varied. Like I said, photography was my in on that. Right now, it's like a mixture of tutorials. It's a mixture of travel stuff, lately fashion stuff, and fitness stuff as well. It's kind of more so, I look at it as like, I like making entertaining videos. I'm not a photographer just doing photography stuff because I just like making entertaining. I'm more on camera than I am behind camera anyway at the moment. So it's like, that's what I look at it with my content. In terms of how it provides money, I'm sponsored by companies. That's one thing. So, monthly sponsorships by companies is one thing. Really, really super grateful to be working with some of the biggest companies that I dreamed of working with, like Adobe, for example. Like Adobe's the reason that I'm able to do what I do now, because they have the tools that allow that to be possible. Google, Notion, like companies like that, working with them on a monthly basis is really, really cool. I then also run a digital asset company. So we sell presets, we sell video plugin stuff, we sell all kind of like editing assets for editors to be able to do, take their videos, like improve their videos and things like that, and their photos and stuff. So there's that. I also co-run an editing agency with one of my editors, with my editor Kyle. That's another thing I do. And then what else? There's a few other things. My mind just went blank.
Keep going.
You're enjoying it. You're doing it just about everything.
They're the kind of 3 main things at the moment, I would say. That's kind of the main things I'm focusing on right now. And then I've got a few projects coming up that I'm building out in the background, which I will definitely talk more about in the near future when they're kind of more nearly ready to go.
100%. I mean, when it comes to editing, how is so you have a real kind of school, like you help content creators make like the best reels and make the best out of their like the content, the content, like the right, like the fonts and all of that.
That's coming soon. That's coming
Okay.
soon. So that's one of the projects that we're building out at the moment. We've got a team together on that, and we're building something there, like building basically an academy kind of thing to help teach people to grow on social media. Because I think it's one of the most insane opportunities there is at the moment. I mean, it completely changed my life. Just from posting videos on social media that people like, I was able to do a career that I thought, gosh, would take ages to achieve in such a short period of time. And not only that, like it progressed so quickly and allowed me to just move out from something that I wasn't enjoying to something that I absolutely love doing on a daily basis. It's like pinching myself sometimes. I'm like 3 years ago, whatever it is, if I told myself that I'd be doing the things that are happening now, I'd be like, geez, that's like a real short time frame to be able to doing those. And it's all because like, if you post consistently on social media, you can grow and build a platform to do that. So yeah, we're going to be teaching that in the academy thing when that's ready within the coming months for sure.
That's amazing. That's great. I mean, how long did it take to switch from the finance job to starting up your, the photography, the Instagram, the TikTok? How did you transition to that?
So in lockdown, I stopped doing that job, and then I moved to London September 2021. And when I moved to London, I was still working like a bit of an admin marketing job at the same time, but it was remote. So I was getting like a little bit of income from that, which was allowed me to kind of like support just moving down to London. But then it was living in London, I moved in with a friend of mine just because he had a spare room, and he let me live with him in Shoreditch. And it was through just living here, meeting tons of people, networking, being like a person who was willing to just, hustle and kind of do those things and be like, oh no, yeah, I'll shoot with you. Like, let's shoot together and things like that. And let's help each other out and let's help grow each other's audiences, or like, intro to someone else. And like, we could shoot together, and just kind of hustling in that aspect. And like little bits of income just came from there. And then the first thing I actually did was, it was a friend of a friend who I met again from moving down to London. And he said to me, would you like help us with our social media? Would you help us like make content with our social media? And it was like the thing that I knew was social media and growing on social media, but I still wasn't making enough money from social media to be able to like just live off social media. So I said, yeah, for sure. And that was like my first kind of like monthly retainer client that I then had, that I knew I would have a consistent income from. And so that led me to start a production company, which does that. And then it was like, okay, that client, and then get another client and another client and another client. Before you knew it, then I was just able to just focus on that and do that full time, which is still something that, I'm involved with, but I'm much more focused on, building my own platforms and things like that right now than I am with that thing. But right in the beginning, that's how I made that initial switch from, doing this admin thing that, wasn't really that great or fulfilling, to then being able to just move to doing something with social media full time.
Wow. It's very, it's very nice to hear such like a pushing, it's like it kind of motivates people to hear something like that, like just hustling and, having like belief, something good will come out of it and it working in the end. It's a nice story to hear. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. If you show up as a person who's got killer energy, always willing to do stuff, like be active, and like push things and make cool stuff, and it's the energy you show up with. That's what people remember. And if you're just like keen to do stuff, make cool things, and keen to like help other people out, give your knowledge and help them do whatever they're wanting to do, then that'll just spread. It'll spread like wildfire. That's how it worked for me. I was able to do that with one person, which then he told more people, and then it led on, and it's just like a domino effect in that sense.
Would
anyone
you say
can do
like
that. I think whatever you're.
Yeah, sorry, I was gonna say, would you say like now, are you the one that kind of pushes out to do things with people, or have they started coming to you, or is it sort of the same, like it's a balance, or like what has it reached? Right
now, I'd say it's more now it comes to me, and it comes through maybe like 90% comes to, and then maybe 10% we're outreaching. I'm very fortunate now and grateful to have like a team around that, like my manager Jordan. So he's he's like in charge of outreach and stuff like that and planning those things. But yeah, I think a lot of it now, just through building a platform, comes forth. Kind of like it comes to me now, where in the beginning, there's that switch from where you're going out, you're hustling, you're being the person who's like constantly here and there, and there is still an element to that. I believe that is still extremely valuable, and it's still something I do. I know, I'm no way like resting on my laurels with things and just like sitting back and relaxing. But a lot of stuff now comes forward and comes to me, just I think from the nature of building a platform.
I mean, 100%. That's pretty, that's sick. And I mean, you mentioned before working with Adobe. I mean, being an editor or in the editing community, what was the best thing you could take from that Adobe convention? Is there something new? I know about Adobe Firefly. There's new AI tools. What's your best take on all of that? What did you get from it? And what were you able to do there as well?
The new AI thing is just mad. It's mad. It's so good. It's so good. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. The new generative fill thing on Photoshop as well. It's ridiculous how good it is. I've got a video coming out very, very soon, probably this week on that. I cannot believe just how accurately, I mean, what the video is about. I mean, it's fine. I can mention it, but I turn a photo from a portrait photo and I extend it into a landscape photo. Now, these sides of the photo just don't exist. They're not real. They don't exist. However, I just extend the crop and tell it to fill these areas in. And it literally looks like I've just taken it there and then. The accuracy of lining up the branches, the parts of the photo, the trees, the leaves, the depth of field is just, it's just so weirdly accurate. Like it's literally a 99% accuracy, and it's just so clever. I've seen videos of people, transforming car shots and photography product shots. Like some guy, I saw it today actually. He took a photo of a Porsche just in a car park, and he generated this whole scenario, and it literally looked like it was on a racetrack coming around the corner. And the accuracy, you wouldn't second guess it. You'd be like, wow, it's a great shot on like a racetrack. No, it's just in a car park. But you generate the whole thing around it. And I love that. I think AI is going to be the best thing that happens to the creative community, because it's just 100%. It's going to unlock so many amazing, talented people who before had such a big barrier to entry in joining this kind of thing. Like you think about, I don't know, young kids or whatever who don't have the funds to be able to buy a subscription on a monthly basis and or go to film school or learn really complex softwares that cost a lot of money. If they can just pay however much a month, get a subscription to something and start making amazing stuff or directing things, it's just going to be crazy. I mean, some of the other AI models that are out there, when it generates the AI prompt that you tell it to generate, it can generate that as a 3D model in the background. Now, it might not be at the level yet where it can be turned into video, but that's going to be coming so soon. Yeah. And imagine some kid with a laptop who can literally generate a full movie scene just by giving AI prompts. We're going to get so many amazing directors and storytellers who before wouldn't have had even a chance of getting in because of the barriers to entry.
Wow. Yeah, it's very shocking. It's a big change that's going to come, and it's kind of going to push people that don't use those to go to new levels, sort of how artists have changed, art in general. Like you look at old paintings and they're of portraits of people and that, but now computer can generate that sort of stuff. So they've gone to abstract and they've gone to physical stuff. So it's kind of going to push them to go even further beyond I guess art or editing and movie storytelling. All that's going to have to be more advanced, because everyone's going to feel like it might make kind of a level for everyone that will be everyone's level is here, right? But having all those tools will boost it up to here, but that means everyone has to go even higher to be different.
Keep pushing people up higher and higher and higher. The only thing is that, which is the only small negative side that is kind of annoying to see, is people complaining that it's going to take away from creativity or take away from people's jobs. But I mean, what's your take on that?
I don't believe in that at all. I think it's going to enhance them. I think it's just going to make everything better. Imagine now, like, say, okay, I want to make an animated movie. I want to make a 3D scene or like that. I have the idea in my head, but then to go out and make the animation, you need rigging, you need animators, you need scripts, you need to do all this and you need to do that. If you can literally go into an AI program and get the characters made just there and then by giving it prompts and everything like that, and then tell it to animate it and that thing, you're getting rid of all of the other steps that were getting in the way before of making something that's really cool. I just think it's gonna 10x creativity. It's gonna, like I was saying before, it's dropping those barriers to entry. It's making it easier to make really, really cool things. I think, if you've already got those ideas in your head, like you're not being hindered by AI. It's enhancing everything. It's making it so much easier. I saw one the other day where you can just type in, generate a sound effect. I'd much rather just type in on Firefly or something or whatever it is, generate sound effects of ocean wave than trolling the internet for the right sound of an ocean wave. Like, saw that, that's the bit that's getting sped up, or like, just getting it to generate an image and things like it's just, I don't believe that it's going to ruin anything. I think it's going to make everything 10 times better.
Yeah, I see your point. Like it's able to bring in so many more people into so many different areas of field and work, and that's what allows there to be more creativity. So I definitely see where you're coming from.
And making it faster as well, 100%.
Yeah, it boosts everything. Just gets straight to the point.
Yeah. Definitely. I think
I'm really, really. I was just saying, I've got like a full, on Macs when you can have desktops. You swipe across.
Yeah.
I've literally got one that's like, it must be about 100 tabs of different AI software that I'm just playing with at the moment, and just messing around with. My battery life has just sunk in the last like 2 months because I'm just running so many things at once and playing with so many. I think they're so good. Like, there's just so many about there right now, and more are just coming out every day.
100%. What's your let's say top 5 AI tools that you would use?
At the moment, when I've been doing the like kind of skits where I've got my personal AI in my videos, like that clothing transition one, the one called Ada. So I use 11 Labs for that, which I kind of like. You got to really mess around with it. To be honest, Midjourney's amazing. Firefly obviously is amazing as well. The new Photoshop Firefly is just like, I'm obsessed with that. What else? ChatGPT. Gosh, I use it on like a daily basis. I do that with supplement stuff. I was debating on buying this like health supplement the other day, and I just asked ChatGPT to compile all of the evidence to suggest the benefits and the negatives, and then to come to conclusion. Gives you everything like that. You're not then scrolling and looking at all different promoted articles. You're just getting the real stuff, like straight to the point, which is just, I think it's amazing, and it does it in an instance. I'm doing as well I'm starting a little. I'm not going to go too much into it because it's a little secret project, but I'm starting a secret project, and I'm asking. No leaks. I'm just not going to, it's secret. And I asked ChatGPT to develop these scripts into these videos, and it does it within a second. Like, it does it in a minute, if that. It's even less than a minute. And I can just generate 10 videos within 10 minutes. It's just wild. It's so useful.
Have you seen the web chat GBT? Like, you can give it that plugin that allows it to have access to the internet as well.
I haven't done that yet. I've heard of it, but I've not done it yet.
Yeah, it's very useful because it searches up. I think you can make it search up max results, and then it gets all the information from every link, and then gives you even more information. It's just amazing. I think it's such a waste of people that don't utilize all this information, all these things, and people kind of stuck up saying, "Oh, I miss the old times" and all that. When if you just get with the new times, you can succeed so much faster. There's so much people stuck in this bubble.
I don't get it. I miss the old times. It's such an interesting thing. It's like, why? Things are way easier right now. Like, you've got a tool that'll literally tell you anything. It'll answer any question you want within a minute. And do you want to go back to what?
No,
Go to
no
a library
way.
and research it for like 3 weeks? Like, come on, just ask ChatGPT.
Yeah. No, they're just doing too much.
Yeah, now even going back to the university library, I'm seeing like all
No
the books,
way.
and I'm like, nah, no time for that. Just chat GPT it, and I think the only
Be honest.
problem.
Be
Oh, yeah,
honest.
continue,
How
yeah.
much have you used ChatGPT with your uni stuff?
With my uni stuff, all the time. I have to use it. You can't, because some subjects are just they make you go to the university library to get information, and there are some literally I had to search up things about Aboriginals, right?
Yeah.
That's like the indigenous people of Australia, and I had to. There was no information on the specific tribe that I had to do a project on, and I just chat GPT'd it, and then I just got everything I needed, and I just said, you can even get it to reference as well. So I let it reference everything for me, and it's so much better compared to going through university, libraries and files, and it's just such a waste. Yeah, 100%.
I know, it's amazing. It's so good, and it's all about the prompts, right? Like if you
Yes.
prompt it well, you can get exactly what you want. Like make it into whatever it is, a 10,000 word essay. Cite these books, and it's just like it does it like that. And I cannot believe how blessed we are to have that. It's so
Yeah.
useful.
Yeah. I might even write my PhD in it when I finish university, because like at the levels that it will be by then, that's what, 5 years from now or 4 years from now, like it could do unimaginable things. Like this is all in only like the past 6 months that everything's just advanced. Like I was using an AI tool to plan my next trip to wherever it was. You put in Japan, and I want to go do these specific things, and I want it to be more themed for kids and all that stuff, and it just gives you a perfect plan. It's so like crazy to see. So in 5 years from now, just imagine the advancements. It's shocking.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah,
mentioned
it's-
Japan,
it's-
and
it's
you
gonna
also
be-
mentioned Japan.
Yeah, I was looking at your story today. You definitely want to go to Japan, huh?
Yeah, this morning someone was like, "Oh, where do you want to go the most?" I was like, "Oh, definitely Japan." I've never been, and then it was locked down for ages.
Yeah, 100%.
And now it's obviously it's reopened again, and yeah, it's just a place I really want to be. I love Japanese culture. I like grew up watching a load of anime stuff. I used to watch like Pokemon. I used to watch Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
So I just
yeah,
I
Pokemon
love
was
their
the best.
culture and their food. So it's like I really want to visit.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful, like so beautiful as well.
Yeah,
100%.
just imagine being able to live there. It is.
Yeah.
It's very like it's got both best of both worlds, the city and then like good culture and good landscapes and all that sort of greenery and all. It's got everything.
100%. I the only problem that I've seen is that actual like Japanese workers and stuff, they say that the work life is very I would say it's kind of very 9 to 5 or alcoholic based as well. But if you're able to get some work from outside or utilize the work that you've brought in from the outside and mix it in and live there, then it's amazing culture. It's super not like the US, it's just way better in every way. So 100%. And speaking of countries, what would you say your top 5 countries you've been to so far have been?
Italy, I love. I go every
Italy,
year.
okay.
Iceland is incredible.
That's on bucket list. Yeah.
Iceland's amazing. Everywhere you go in Iceland is like a photo just opportunity. I was shooting there with a friend of mine. We were shooting a music video, and I was like, we were driving to a location. We nearly stopped at about 20 other locations on the way just because of how crazy it is on the way. I was like, this is just the side of the motorway, and it looks sick. Like, it's a very cool country. Where else? South Africa, amazing.
Really?
I went on safari in South Africa. That was one of the best experiences. That's 3. Where else? The lakes in Canada is pretty special. I went there last year. The lakes of Ontario, that's very, very cool. I don't know what the 5th would be.
Have you been to like
Where's someone else been? Like,
Egypt or something? Dubai? I don't know.
no, not yet. Not yet. I've got a lot of the Middle East that I'd like to explore.
Yeah.
I've not really done it properly yet. I really want to go to Morocco.
Oh, yeah,
soon.
definitely.
Morocco, yeah, that's a really nice place.
That looks very, very cool. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know the fifth one. I'd say I was recently in Paris, and I absolutely loved that as well. Paris is just beautiful.
Yeah. I
I think
Really,
France has
really
a
cool
lot of
city,
amazing places in it.
Let's go with that. Yeah, it does. It's very beautiful. I've got quite a lot of French friends as well, and we always banter each other. There's that little bit of British and French competition where
Yeah.
we secretly hate each other but pretend to like each other.
Yeah, it's amazing. I remember going there. It's just the vibes of the street. Everything feels picturesque, and the architecture of everything is just so peaceful.
Yeah.
It was just so amazing. I love.
Classic, right?
Yeah, it's classic.
It
It feels
just
like an 1800s movie or something. It's so nice.
It feels very traditional.
Yeah. They've done that so well in Paris that they've really kept the architecture and beauty very French. It's very French still. And like 80% of the buildings are absolutely stunning. Whereas I feel like in London, I know there's other reasons, like in history, a lot of it getting like blown up and everything like that, and all that kind of business, fair enough. Valid excuse. However,
just might be.
I swear we just went through a period. Yeah. We went through like a period in time where we just thought, we'll just chuck anything up. Like, we don't care what it looks like. And so we've got a load of buildings that you're just like, how has that made it into like zone 1? You've got this beautiful white terrace house, and then you've got this absolute monstrosity next to it. And it's just like, why have we done this?
It needs to go.
We need to get better at that.
Wow.
Yeah, that needs to go. I don't care what it does, but it needs to go.
I mean, you were talking about how you haven't been to the Middle East. I'm quite surprised considering I heard that your favorite food is Middle Eastern food.
And dates as well.
Yeah, dates especially. We were going to ask as well also about your top 5. Do you want to do it now? Top 5 cuisines?
Yeah, top 5 cuisines.
Top 5 cuisines. God, loving a top 5. Middle Eastern, hands down, is number 1. We're blessed in London. We've got amazing Middle Eastern restaurants in London, like amazing. What's number 2? God, do I have to... 5 cuisines is kind of hard.
It is kind of hard, Maybe we'll do 3. You'll do 3, make it easy?
Yeah, sure.
We'll do 3, and then we'll give our 3.
Three's fair. 3's fair. Okay, so then like Middle Eastern, then you're moving into maybe Mediterranean, like Greek and Italian is kind of lit. And then what's last?
Asian, maybe?
What would be the other one? So this is the thing, actually. Asian food has a lot of sugar in it. It's kind of a lot of it has sugar in it. Because I used to eat Japanese a lot, but a lot of it, even sushi rice has got sugar in it to bind it. So I don't. Really? I really kind of like don't eat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they use sugar and everything. All the sauces, soy, teriyaki, all of them have got it in. What would be the last one? Maybe South African. They eat a lot of meat.
South African.
Really
South
nice.
African's pretty nice.
So,
for sure.
I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah. I'm just trying to. I'm just fathoming it now, how much the no sugar really limits you.
Yeah, only in the Asian countries though. Like, and then again, like I say that I still do sometimes eat there. So it's like, it's not really been that much of an issue. Like in Indonesia, I didn't have an issue. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's just Japanese and Chinese.
I haven't been to Indonesia yet, but I think Indonesia would be very sick.
Indian food.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
we completely forgot about that.
Yeah, Indian's actually very good.
How did we forget about those guys?
Yeah, man.
They have the most people. Oh, the second most people in the world.
Yeah, we can't. It's impossible to forget about them.
Yeah. Wait, do they have the most people, or is it China?
I think it's China then India. I don't know. It's not very relevant.
Yeah.
Is it? Are they battling it out for top spot of who's got the most
I don't know.
kids?
I mean, China
They had to
limit.
They had to have like one
kid
person.
rule.
Yeah, one kid, and one kid only because there was too many people. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, top 3 cuisine. What's yours?
I mean, it's quite straightforward. It's definitely like it'd be Middle Eastern, then Asian food, and then I mean, we haven't really branched off too much, but I might go with like, like you said, Greek food, Italian food. Like I have had, I mean, all sort of pastas and this and that and pizza and, generally speaking.
Have you tried Lebanese specifically? Lebanese food is the best Middle Eastern you'll get. I mean, it has so much range. Yeah. everything Middle Eastern is just amazing.
It caters to everyone.
I was going to say, we've got so many amazing Lebanese restaurants in London. So many. Like, I absolutely love them. And I know them all as well. Like, I'm just going to different
you have a
one
checklist.
every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so good.
I mean, so now switching to a different topic, being, having that online persona, showing that confidence, showing that, vibrancy, was that always, or that positivity, has that always been you, or did you have to develop it? How do you maintain it? What's the story with that?
So naturally, I have always kind of been, I'd say, high energy. For better or worse, I've always had like a lot of energy. I've always been pretty like vibrant and joyful. So yeah, I think that's always been there. When I first started, God no, I was absolutely petrified in front of camera.
Yeah,
I was like so awkward. I think I made a video about this recently. I was so awkward. I was so nervous. In my first videos, I wasn't even in the video. I was holding my phone down, talking into the microphone, and all you could see was my keyboard. I was just like, I'm not being on camera. I'm going to say something, but I'm not being on camera. I didn't have the self-confidence to be on camera at that time. But then I just, one day made the decision, I'm going to be on camera. Like, I'm going to try it. And I progressed from there. And then just from time doing that on a daily basis, I mean, I've posted every day for the last however long, it's really? Every single day, just more video, another video, improving, and you just you get little incremental bits of improvement, and then all of a sudden you get massive leaps of improvement where you're just like, I'm really feeling it today. I'm on camera, we're having a lot of fun, like this is funny. I don't script in a lot of my jokes and like humor, stuff like that. It just comes naturally on the spot because I'm just like, I find it very fun. I find presenting to camera and talking just about whatever really fun. Like, I had this joke the other day with my editor Kyle, and it was like, we can make a vlog about anything. I made a vlog where I literally went to a place nearby to script a video, and it made a whole vlog, and we were just doing random stuff like pretending to shoot something and adding muzzle flash effects and like masking stuff. Like, it's just, you can make anything really fun, but it's just it's a journey of just trying. It's a journey of just like doing it repetitively, and then you get more confidence in doing it, and you kind of just think, like, why not do that? What have I really got to lose in just like showing more personality on camera? I don't think anything. It only makes things better, really.
And it's just that mental barrier you just got to break. I mean, would that be? Would you say quantity over quality, or mix of both, or how are you attacking that right now? What are you choosing first, or are you doing both?
Both, always both.
Yeah.
100%. I don't think either needs to be jeopardized. I think short form content and pictures allows you to produce a mass amount of high quality content on a daily basis. Like we're talking 20-second to 30-second videos here. Like, you can make them amazing, and you can make multiple of them. I don't think really you should be posting every single day. Like, there's no reason not to be. With that kind of stuff. But what you said about that mindset of just being like of being better on camera and being more confident in this stuff, it is that you've got to kind of drop that fear of that's holding you back from not being confident on camera, because that's all that's going to be getting in the way. There is something like you're scared of a certain result, whether it's like excuse me, whether it's like I'm not going to get any views, or people are going to make fun of me, or my videos aren't going to do well, or anything like that. I posted for ages on Instagram without my videos doing anything. Like, they got barely any views. Like, they got nothing for a really long time, until all of a sudden they started getting views on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer you should just post regardless. Like if you're thinking too much about the end result, then one, you're doing it the wrong reason, and two, you're setting up an expectation which, if it's not hit, then you're gonna feel shit about it. And there's really no
100%.
need to. I think you just
Yeah.
make content, put it out there, and let the market decide, let the audience decide on how it's gonna do.
100%.
I was going to say,
okay.
you experienced that, obviously starting this podcast with your old Instagram account.
Editing,
Yeah.
all of that. It definitely, like right now with the podcast, it's obviously slow progress, but you just start something, as long as you are given that quality and the quantity as well, like you mentioned, then you just have, if you do it for the right reasons as well, like you're doing it for the fun, you're doing it, because you enjoy it and not for the end goal, like you said, you're actually going to see the quality of it increase and not differ from, or not go towards different, or not change the intentions towards getting just for the views or, just for the likes. And you actually reach a higher place and you become more successful because you actually enjoy what you're doing. There's no down times. There are, you have your low points, but you're disciplined to get to that goal because you enjoy the journey of it. And I think that's what's amazing about it.
Yeah, like you said, your point for starting this podcast, which is like an intention that you don't want to break. It's like you want to give people, like you said, an outlet to be able to express their feelings and their emotions, and be able to have someone or like a group of people that they can relate to. Obviously, all of us are similar age, before 20, a bit over 20.
Yeah.
Everyone's in that area of like age. And they just need somewhere where they can relate to and people that understand them and go through the same problems as them. And as long as we don't stray away from that, and we always stay to that that motive, then it's that means that we're pure, and like whatever comes to us is from good.
100%. I mean, that's why we appreciate you being our first guest.
Yeah, I was
going to
say, start of new things. He is our first guest, and it's an absolute pleasure. You know what I mean? But
First guest. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, I have been following for quite a decent amount of time, because I used to always be in photography, but I never really, went on it. So I kind of, when you train your feed to change to what you want, like you talking to the mic as it picks up, and you just say photography, cameras, stuff like that, and like every photo post, and then your account started coming up. And that's how it began. And I hit you up not long ago, and there you go.
Yeah, you enjoyed his vibe. I feel you told me a lot, like just his energy was really vibrant, and it really brought you towards him. You're like, I'd really love to have this guy on the podcast. It'd be cracker, And here we are. It's actually done. It's really nice to have you on.
Yeah, no, it's been great. It's been real good fun. And so, where will the podcast be? Just all over normal places.
Yeah, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We'll post like clips on this on Instagram, and TikTok, and then any other
YouTube Shorts.
YouTube Shorts as well. Yeah, 100%. You got to utilize them all. After we spoke about everything and all about short form content, making the most of it. Yeah.
Talking about like when we're talking about AI before, I'm using an AI tool. I think it's called Opus. You just put in your podcast, it'll make clips for you, and not all of them will be great. But, it will just pick out a couple of them, and you can post them because it gives you a whole week's worth of posting. It'll give you 15 great clips to post, you know what I mean? So it's great to use something like that, just to put in like an hour-long video. It gives you 15 videos, and it's easy. It makes life so much easier instead of spending 2 hours on making a little short.
100%. Yeah. Would you say, do you edit all your videos?
It's a new tab on my AI desktop right there.
I had a feeling you were typing something up there. You might enjoy it. He'll send you like one of like our examples of what it's like when you make something on there. My friend actually brought me to it. So
it picks up the keywords. That's the main thing about it. It picks up the keywords that get popular as well, and then it creates clips surrounding that.
Yeah, it's really good for like your content, especially since it's mainly you in it. So it kind of makes it engaging for the specific person that's talking, and it'll like highlight words. You can edit the text that it puts in. It'll add in emojis because everyone loves seeing a little image on their screen. You can add images yourself. So it's really like crazy how it picks it up and does all that.
So definitely, you'll use that next time. But I think with all this. How have you been able to, or what was your main back end support throughout this whole journey? You know, we've spoken about it for so long. Who's been supporting you this whole time?
So before kind of like building a team on this kind of stuff, I have kind of like a mentor in life who helps me out with everything, really. And we talk on a daily basis. We talk about all sorts of stuff. You know, a guy that I know who's in London, and we talk about everything and anything, really. It's not just career stuff. It's everything. To do with, you know, mental health, to do with exercise, to do with career stuff, to do with whatever it is. We talk about stuff on a daily basis. So there's that. I've got a great group network of friends, again, who we talk about similar stuff as well. You know, we're not only just like joking around and having fun, we're talking about other things and support and everything like that. And whether it's helping each other, pushing each other. The first kind of business thing was my editor, Kyle. So Kyle takes care of all of my tutorials, so all of my talking head tutorials, and then the occasional vlog here and there. But then I edit the vlogs, and I edit the VFX ones, like when I was Spider-Man or when I jumped up and the clothes like flew onto me. Those are the videos that I like to focus on. Kyle nails the tutorials. He's an absolute beast at that. So yeah, Kyle was like the kind of first person who I started working with. Yeah, big beast Kyle. Lives in the sticks, I tell him. Yeah, no, Kyle is great at what he does. So yeah, that was like a huge support. And then the biggest change, like the biggest thing that just took things to a whole new level was my manager Jordan, like being able to sign with my management and work with them, which will be coming up maybe we're like 7 or 8 months now. But I started, you know, my manager Jordan, he's just amazing at what he does. Always has my back with everything, has everything organized and sorted out, and he's like, yeah, just a beast at what he does. So that support as well, and all of the management team as well. By the way, it's just not. I'm with a management called Connect, and the whole team are like family. So we're just like, you know, we're not just business. We hang out all the time and do fun stuff together all the time. And yeah, their support is just like insanely invaluable. Like it's just, it took things to a completely different level of things that you can't do everything by yourself. So building a team is super important. And they were like, them and Kyle was like the biggest input for that for sure.
I just have a quick question. I don't want to go into it too much, but because I know Hattie isn't a big football guy, but I know you are. I was going to ask, do you want Man City to win the Champions League?
No. I'm a Man United fan.
He definitely supports someone else. I don't know who it is, but you
think of anything worse, mate.
Damn. So who do you support then?
I support Man United.
Okay, yeah, I can see why
since now. I put it in my story. I have done since. Yeah, since I was a little kid and I first saw Ronaldo play football when he was at Man United. That's the reason I like football, and that's the reason I love Ronaldo so much. Even though I do admit Messi is the GOAT.
Yeah, like, I can agree with you there, for sure.
I'm happily admitting that, but Ronaldo's my personal favorite. But so, no, I would much rather Inter Milan absolutely smash
Me too, I'm with you all the way.
Final. Like, absolutely. I mean, gosh almighty, that would be dreadful. They've already won the league. Let's not let them start to compete with our title record.
Thank you very much for coming on. We really appreciate it. You know, we're definitely going to share it around, and good luck with everything that you do. We'll keep in touch as well. And thank you for coming on. I appreciate it very much.
Epic. Cheers, guys. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been great, and looking forward to seeing the final outcome.
Yeah. Thank you very much, guys, for listening. Really appreciate it. Make sure you rate us 5 stars on Spotify, and go check out Luca Peterson on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everything. And thank you very much. And we'll see you guys next time on another episode of Easy Cars. Thank you.